good old father-son Natsu and Igneel tag team right now. That's what I want to see right now in Fairy Tail. Let's go and fuck up Acnalogia and Geer together. It seems like none of the dragons are all, from what we've seen, like came out of like Geer or Wendy or Sting and Rogue. It's more understandable for Sting and Rogue, for apparently I guess they're telling the truth that they did kill their dragons, but we never know with these crusty fucks. But when it comes to like Wendy and Geer, it's just like, it just seems like they reacted just to Igneel's presence coming out. I was like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, what's going on? It really does want to know, like, why was it like all of them were in that condition? Was because of like the summoning of the dragon does that to them or something like that? Like, who knows? Like, I'm very curious about what was going on with that. And even like Natsu, he was so fucking angry with like Igneel, since he was saying like, oh, we'll talk later and all that. And even though it's like been all these years to him looking for him, Igneel's just like blasting the fuck of Acnalogia, and it's like Natsu don't care. He charges on top of Igneel, and he says, "Oh, I'll say everything later." He's like, "No, you're telling me now, bitch, like that. You're telling me everything what happened, you know, on 777 like that. What happened there, like there." And it's like he's like trying to say like, "Listen here, you little fucking brat." I'm like, "I'll tell you later." I was like, it was kind of weird just seeing a little bit of comedy between these two during like this big fucking fight between Acnalogia and even Geer down below saying, "I will wipe out both of them, the King of Flames and the Wings of Darkness." And I was like, pretty much like right now is like he asked Natsu saying, "Hey, you're part of the guild. Why don't here's my job for you then. Why don't you beat up Geer and all that and retrieve the Book of End? Do not open it." And I'm very curious as why, like, just like if you open the Book of End, is it like a sacrifice? Is that a reason why Geer hasn't used them yet? Like he's gonna use like one of the suitable sacrifices that comes to him. I'm very curious about what is really the Book of End at this point. That, you know, even Igneel knows about this pretty much. Okay, in exchange to like beating up Geer and also getting the Book of End and all that, pretty much you gotta tell me everything. And Igneel's no, and it's like, "I'm burning up, motherfucker," as he throws his hand. It's like, "Make me proud, my son," like that. And he just throws him into there, and it's like, yeah, let's go. So you definitely see as well the origins of why Natsu always says, "I'm all fired up," is he pretty much gets that from his father and all that, from the King of Flames himself. And like, definitely for like what most of this was called, I was expecting like a lot of the fight being dedicated to Igneel and Acnalogia. I would have loved a little bit more of that instead of like everyone else's opinion on it. Like, "Oh my god, that's a dragon," like that. Like, we kind of got that last week. So it wasn't like a 10 out of 10 like last week's chapter was, but it was definitely a very exciting and building up chapter. Like, I'll give this one like an 8.5 to a 9. I'm really excited for this one right now. Not to mention as well, I really just like that little father-son moment they had at the end, like saying like, you know, "Make me proud, my son," like that. That was just like something I think Natsu's been wanting to hear for like absolute years. And just like, not to mention, we already saw how powerful Igneel is. Like that, he just literally made a massive explosion, and it did nothing to the Acnalogia. I was like, okay, it's gonna take. We're gonna need a true fucking Dragon Slayer or something like that. Like maybe that's what we're gonna need. Like Natsu's gonna have to come into a different kind of Dragon Slayer, or who knows? Because it's just the questions right now of how to kill this thing is just unbelievable. But that's all me. Always thank you very much for watching. As always, remember, I'll see you guys next time. Remember, straight out Panda.